Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli wa nusallim ala rasulihil kareem. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Dear viewers, welcome back. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Iqra. The very first order, the very first command of Allah SWT is what? Read. Read. That is the very first command Allah sent down on His Prophet ﷺ. Reading is the gateway to knowledge. Reading books, opening up books and reading books. What a strange idea. It's disappearing. We don't see children reading books anymore. We don't see adults reading books anymore. Books have suddenly disappeared. Everyone's got these screens in front of them, a mobile or iPad, etc., or the laptop, and we're just stuck with screens. And overall, what that's doing is it's decreasing the level of intellect, the level of tolerance, the level of balance that society used to have. That's because we stopped reading. And it's strange that parents who want their kids to succeed in school and academically, and they're always pushing about what grades you're getting, etc., even those parents have no clue about getting them to read. You see, the intelligence of your child is not going to be measured by some paper-based tests. It will be measured by how they're able to read, process what they're reading, and develop their own mental faculties based on that. Research proves that children who read on their own regularly are far more confident, they're far happier, they're far more independent and far more knowledgeable than those who don't. These children have a better understanding of other cultures and other people's points of view. They're able to speak to someone without getting upset and getting triggered because they are less likely to be intolerant of other people's positions, and they're less likely to be hateful towards those who they disagree with. So one of the reasons you were seeing all around the world, you're seeing this rise of racism and hatred, and especially Muslims are facing a lot of persecution around the world, and also within Muslim countries, other people face intolerance, and that's because we've stopped reading. That is one of the main reasons. Instead, where we turn towards social media or towards electronic media, and all you're hearing is depressing news and points of view which are very extreme. People who are raising sentiments in you against other people. So a lot of political sentiment, etc. So that's causing more hatred. It's fueling that sort of reaction in society. And, it's really strange that parents, they think that reading is only between the school and the child, that the school has to make sure that my child is reading. And what are they reading? They're reading the course book. So the only books that parents are concerned about are the course books. And when they're doing that, they're making their child dumber, and they're making their child less competent to be succeeding. So if you are ascribing to this approach, I would strongly advise that you give it up. Instead, focus on books. Go get books. Go with your child, get books. And because you could not be more wrong about this when you're only concerned about their school course books, or you think that the school will get them to start reading. They don't have that much time in school, free time. Reading is something you do when you relax. Reading is something you do to make yourself happy and absorbed. And it's not supposed to be a task. It's not something that you're doing because you are told to do. It's something you do because you enjoy it. That's where you want to bring your child to. And I personally have interviewed hundreds, hundreds of people. Hardly anyone reads books. Hardly any of the candidates that have come up to me, I always ask the question, what book are you currently reading, or what book is on your side table next to your bed? And they say, oh, I don't get time to read. Why don't you get time to read? Everyone has 24 hours in the day. Oh, I'm really busy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. What was the last book you read? Oh, the book I read last was during my master's, it was an assigned book. Like that's, and these people are masters in English literature or Urdu literature. And that is a sad and huge reason for the great decline in intellect that I'm telling you about. So people have master's degrees, but they can't have an intellectual conversation with you because that degree is only assignments, a bunch of assignments. They have not developed a mind of their own to be able to have intellectual interaction. And that only happens the more you read, and you just you absorb, and your world inside you builds, and your imagination runs wild, and you can picture the entire scene in your eye, in front of your eyes and within your mind, and you can make it as creative and colorful as possible. It's your world. That's where kids thrive. That's where their intelligence booms. They become creative. They become, their thoughts are very vivid. Their internal world is very clear because of all the ability they have developed by reading books. So if there's one thing you can do for your kids, get them to read. How do you get them to read? Good question. Read in front of them. Read beside them. Read with them. Read to them. And let them read to you. So read in front of them. So they should see you reading. If your parents, your teachers, etc., your students or your children should see you reading. When they come into your room, etc., you're reading something, a book. So read in front of them. Read beside them. Read. What does that mean? That you're reading your book, your child is reading their book. They might be a teenager. They might be 15, 20, 30, whatever. They might be 10, 5. They're reading their book. You're reading your book. Read to them. So you read to them, storybook, picture book, etc. Read with them. So together, here's your child, here's you, you're sitting together and you're reading the same book. Read with them and let them read to you. So you listen to them and then ask them questions about what, about the story, etc. and how they felt about it, etc. And of course, read together from the seerah, from the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the stories of the prophets, from the lives of the Sahaba. Daily read together, and that will, inshallah, immensely grow you in all sorts of knowledge. May Allah SWT grow us in knowledge, and may Allah give us this great ability to fulfill His command, His first command of Iqra. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.